There are certain things that just drive me up the wall, and some of them you have probably heard before as well. Here are 10 things you should never say to a Eurovision fan. Sup, you fools! Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. Us Eurovision fans, we are vulnerable to condescending and patronizing comments coming from non-Eurovision fans all the time. We get it from left, right, back, forth, all the time. So, you non-Eurovision fans, listen to me. I'm trying to help you out here. So, there are a few things you should never ever say to a fan of the Eurovision Song Contest. I compiled a list just for you. Listen closely. Here are 10 things you should never say to a fan of the Eurovision Song Contest.
The music at Eurovision sucks.
I am sure you hear that all the time as well. People like complaining about it's too much pop music, too much Schlager, just stupid music that nobody cares about. I don't think you have listened to the song contest in its entirety for a very long time. I mean, have you listened to the winning songs from like 2016? Or 2017? Yeah, totally average, chart-friendly songs, right? Look, there is music for every taste in the contest, especially these days. Let's take a look at the most recent contest from 2018. Yes, we have the pop, hip-shaking music from Cyprus. But then there's also so much more, like, do you want Balkan music? Maybe some metal / post-hardcore? How about some country rock? Opera? Or maybe some ethnic jazz. So what was that again about sucky music? And if you still cannot find one single song to like, then I don't think the issue lies with the contest.
Nobody is watching the show.
Just because you are not watching the contest does not mean nobody is watching the contest. That could not be further from the truth. And yet, people still claim that. Clearly, this is not based on facts whatsoever. Or sanity, if you ask me. Eurovision is the largest non-sporting event in the world, and about 200 million people watch the contest every single year. Yeah, let me repeat that. 200 million. I mean, that's basically nobody, right? I know this is a very easy thing to debunk, but it has to be on that list, because we all hear that all the time, so duh.
What is Eurovision?
Get out of here. If you're from Europe, that is. Get out of here. Now, I live in America, I hear that all the time. That is a different story. So I'm more than happy to explain it to people and tell them, hey, this is what Eurovision is all about. And hoping maybe it's a new fan in the making. That is ultimately my goal. So don't feel bad about that. But if you live in Europe and you ask that question, get out of here. It's a lost cause. So if you're gonna ask us that question, we may just walk the other way, because you're beyond repair.
People are just voting for the neighbors anyway.
Neighbor voting, friendly voting, diaspora, it definitely exists in Eurovision. I cannot deny that, no beating around the bush there. It is definitely prevalent in the televote, to a lesser extent in the jury vote. That is why we have that system, 50% jury, 50% televote. Yes, there is some truth to the whole voting for one another, whether it's like the Moldova, Romania, Greece, Cyprus, Russia and the ex-Soviet, the Nordic countries, Netherlands, Belgium, etc., etc., etc. But since the introduction of the two semifinal system in 2008, 10 years ago, every country failed to qualify from the semis at least once, with the exception of Ukraine. And if you compare the results overall, just apples to apples, the impact of friendly voting has been minimized. Yes, it's not perfect and there's always room for improvement, but look at the top 10 every single year. The results may not always feel fair, because taste is subjective, and because you don't like the winner or a certain song does not mean it's unfair if that song ends up winning. I just don't think that is a fair statement. And with over 40 countries taking part, only relying on the friendly votes, it doesn't get you far. Heck, it's not even enough to qualify from the semis. So don't use that as an excuse to not watch the contest, because it doesn't have that big of an impact.
Eurovision is so gay.
Okay, I have two things to say about that. Number one, no it's not. And number two, even if it was, what's the big deal? Why does it matter? It says a lot more about you than the contest if that is actually an issue for you. The contest is viewed by millions and millions of people, and I can assure you the vast majority of them is not gay. The contest has a pretty large LGBT following, and that shouldn't come as a surprise, and it's not a bad thing. The contest is all about inclusion. That is a message that can easily be embraced by the community. Plus, Eurovision is just a big old party, and we all know how gays like to party. Seriously though, yes, you may see a gay flag in the audience at some point, but the contest is so diverse, whether it's the music or the people itself. So don't say that. Whether it's your sexual orientation, your culture, your background, your gender, it does not matter. If you go and see the contest live, trust me, you will fit right in. It is not a thing. It is not an issue. And if you just watch it on TV, why does it matter anyway? Just have fun watching it. It's very frustrating when people equate gay and bad, like these two words are interchangeable. Very frustrating. Not cool.
Europe hates us.
So, if they don't vote for us, that means they hate us. That, apparently, is the logical conclusion. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they hardly think about you. They don't even care. Do you really think a Dutch housewife is gonna go like, I really love the Spanish song, but this whole Catalonia situation, that's really off-putting, so I'll vote for Iceland instead. I'm telling you right now, the Lithuanian intern is not interested or doesn't care about Brexit. I don't even think it's on their mind on Eurovision night. Or at all. So you need to get that in your head once and for all. Europe does not hate you. You are not a victim here. If you don't do well at Eurovision, your country that is, maybe you want to take a closer look at your entry and then compare it to the competition. And then maybe it'll start to make sense. But the people, the countries, the broadcasters, they do not hate you. So stop it!
Why do you love it so much?
Now, the question by itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but when you have that patronizing kind of tone to it, that changes everything. I mean, why wouldn't you love Eurovision? That question alone deserves its own video, but of course I had to at least include it in this list. Music? It's subjective, right? But to me, it has been just a great few years with fantastic music, diverse, and it is so much fun. There is music for everyone out there. And it's a big party. It's this great place where countries from all over the continent and beyond come together once a year to celebrate and reminding us that we have a lot more in common than things that separate us. And it's a competitive event, and I'm very competitive. It's a live thing, a live event. You don't know what's going to happen. The results are coming in, keeping you on the edge of your seat until the very last minute. It is just great, great entertainment. I made lifelong friends thanks to Eurovision. It doesn't matter where you are. Heck, I'm in California. I'm on the other side of the world, far, far away from the action. Yet, I have these people from, basically every single country in Europe or other countries, and it's a wonderful thing. We all share this love. It really brings people together. So, in a nutshell, it is fun. It is unadulterated fun. And you don't have to travel to Eurovision to experience it. Have friends over at your house or go to their house, watch it together, have a potluck, and just enjoy each other's company with a fun show. There are viewing parties all over the continent. Maybe you want to go there. It is the vibe, the energy there, it's unbelievable. You can also just watch it on your own if that's more of your thing, at home, on your computer, on your TV, typing away on social media, whining or complaining or being excited about it until your fingers fall off. Whatever floats your boat. And in all seriousness, the world is full of negativity, right? Wars, famine, conflict, anger. It never stops. This is just an opportunity for like a few hours to just forget about it and just enjoy the show. It's to me always this thing where I go and I love it and nothing else matters. Let's not have the negativity from the world take away from the fun that is Eurovision. It's a wonderful escape. Take advantage of it.
Eurovision? More like Eastern Eurovision.
First of all, Eastern Europe is Europe. It's very patronizing to phrase it that way, like it's a bad thing or something like that. Sometimes countries in the eastern part of the continent do better, and sometimes the West does better. There were a few years where the eastern countries on average did better because they sent songs that were just more appealing to the masses and therefore did better at Eurovision. But that is not some kind of pattern and is certainly not based on facts. So I don't know why people keep throwing that out there just as an excuse to dislike Eurovision. I mean, just look at the winners in recent years. 2018 Israel, that's like the Middle East. Then in 2017 Portugal, the southwest of the continent, as southwest as they come. In 2016 Ukraine. Yes, that's in Eastern Europe. But then in 2015, Sweden, up there, the Nordic countries. Don't forget Austria in 2014, Central Europe. Do you get my point? Maybe people still think about the good old days when we only had Western countries taking part in the contest, but that has changed. Since the early 90s, the contest has grown so much. More countries coming along, and that is a good thing. We're more inclusive as a society and as a continent. So let's keep it that way. So it's not just an Eastern thing. Thank you very much.
It's all politics anyway.
Look, we can talk about this. The EBU is doing their best to keep politics out of the contest as much as humanly possible, and I completely embrace and agree with that sentiment. I understand that you cannot completely eliminate political voting, or countries being tight and support one another, or people don't do certain things or vote for certain countries for political reasons. But it is not really a big issue anymore. We have little things that go on. Yes, we have that conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia and Russia's political climate over the last few years, so we're not denying that. But the impact is very limited. Once again, 2018 is a prime example. Israel won the contest. Israel, by all means, often considered a controversial host place because, political climate and all of that stuff, but it did not matter. It still won the contest. And the EBU, the broadcasters, they will do their best, and they are doing the best they can to keep politics out of the equation. Is there some politics? Yes. there is, but it's nowhere near what people make it out to be. And just throwing that out there without any context, I mean, come on. If you want to talk about improving the contest, I'm all ears, but if you just want to throw it out there to make a silly point, get out of here!
The votes are fake. It's all decided by the producers.
So yeah, is that based on facts, or are these just your sour grapes talking? I hear that all the time. The producers decide the winner, it's all fixed, it does not matter. Don't get me wrong, there are certain aspects of the production that I don't agree with. The producer-driven running order, for instance, comes to mind. But let's be real here, if the EBU had a say in who is going to win the contest, our winners would have looked very different over the last few years, trust me on that. The voting is not that simple either, as I pointed out. 50% of the votes come from the televoters, 50% come from the juries. And the detailed results from the juries, as well as the televotes, are available right after the contest has aired, so you can look at every single vote and every single ranking. So if you believe that every single vote is fraud, fake, and fixed, go to Amazon.com. I think they have some tinfoil hats on sale. Seriously though, the producers do not have any say over who wins the contest or the results in any shape or form. So get that out of your head as well. So there you have it, 10 things you should never say to a Eurovision fan. I would like to hear from you. What else should be included in my list? What did I miss? Leave your thoughts below in the comment section and hit that subscribe button. If you want to help us out and become a patron, join us on Patreon. The link is in the description box. More videos to come soon. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Goodbye!